So in this video, I'm going to walk through probably the number one issue that I've seen on individual tax returns, whether it's two people filing a joint return or one person filing, and it really stems back to the W-4 and how they completed it. And if you worked with us before and this issue has come up, I've created an Excel file kind of showing you proof of where the issue is. If you haven't worked with us, this is a change that you can do right now before the end of the year. And let's go through it. So going back to our tax return example, Ferris and Sloan, and if you want to pull up your 2021 tax return, you can kind of follow along because there's two line items that you want to focus on. So the first one is taxable income. So line 15, and for them it's 369,000. And line 24, total tax. So those are the two numbers that we're going to focus on here. And let's jump to this Excel file. So again, if you worked with us and this issue related to your return, you've probably seen this. So what we're trying to come up with is the marginal or your effective tax rate. So for Ferris and Sloan, this is their wages, right? Their W-2 wages that they earned in 2021. So these numbers come from their W-2. So let's go to their W-2 form. So those will come from box 1, okay? So if you pull up your W-2, that's where that number is going to come in that calculation. Then the next number is what they're withholding from their W-2. And this is where the issue starts. So this number is coming from, so let's go back to the W-2. It's coming from box 2, okay? So, so for Ferris, his tax rate of how much tax is being withheld is 15%, okay? Sloan, you take her numbers, she's at 8%. So 8% of her salary is being withheld, and she's paying that in through her employer. Ferris, he's at 15%, and he's paying that through his employer. Now remember those two numbers from their tax return. So the total tax, what they owe, and their total taxable income after deductions. So when you divide the two, you get their effective tax rate, 22%. And here's where the issue comes in. They're withholding a lot less percentage than what they should be. And if you see their tax return here, and this tends not to be a coincidence, but the total amount that they owe is about $35,000. Now, if we go back to this example here, their effective rate is 22%, okay? This is what they should be withholding, but they're withholding a lot less. So if we look at Ferris, we take the 22%, what he should be withholding, from what he is withholding, you take his total taxable income, right, of $230,000. The difference between these two percentages is $7,000, so 230 times 7%. This is how much he's under withholding. Do the same with Sloan. This is what she's under withholding, and this is what they owe, and this is kind of like a back of the envelope calculation. Now let's go to the W-4 form. So this is a form that you fill out when you get hired from your employer. And a lot of people just don't think about it when they fill it out. And over the years, the IRS has kind of changed this form up a lot. What we tell our clients to do, and this is very conservative, whether you're married, you're filing a joint return, or you're single, you mark this box as single. Then all these numbers down here should just be zeros, okay? And that's it, you're done. This W-4 form, you can talk to your employer, HR representative. You can technically change this form like every day if you want to, but you just need to do it once. And that's what our recommendation is. And when you do that, the most tax will be withheld from your paycheck. So there's not going to be any surprises come in April when you do your personal return. Now, if you do get a bonus from work, and that bonus is going to get paid out before the end of the year, bonuses, typically employers will withhold kind of a lesser percentage. So you got to tell them to kind of withhold a little bit more. So we have some clients that their employers give them a form to fill out asking them how much they want to withhold from their bonus. So you should do the same thing. You got to be proactive about this. You got to reach out to your employer and tell them, hey, I want more withheld. You'll also see on this W-4 form that you can have extra withholding. So we have some clients that tell their employer, withhold, $200 or $500 more from my paycheck. And that's kind of building up how much they've kind of paid into the IRS. So I guess the short story of all this is it all comes back to this W-4 form. The IRS does have a withholding calculator estimator on their website that, we recommend you kind of trying it out. But in real simple terms here, if you fill this out how, I suggested it, there won't be any surprises.